Where there was once only a place to sit, there's now a convenient place to relax. Where there was once only unusable space, there's now an ingenious storage system of interchangeable bins, trays, and cargo netting. Where there was once only upholstery, there's now a place for an office. And where there was once only a truck, there's now Dodge Ram. The rules have changed.
Experience how the rules have changed. Take the ultimate test drive at your nearest Dodge dealer.
My sister works here. Says they serve Reese's for breakfast. I'm thinking candy. She says not candy, Reese's Puff cereal. Before I can order, she delivers. That Reese's cup taste, filling my spoon, one bite, and I'm spinning in a rush of peanut butter and chocolatey taste.
And Reese's Puffs is part of a good breakfast.
I love them so much, I'll leave her a tip. Reese's Puffs.
It's Reese's for breakfast.
Don't touch the needle. You might scratch the record. Don't touch the needle.
Make it!
Too much hip movement is incorrect and unappealing.
Make it!
You know what they say about too much dancing. Change can be a dangerous thing. Change.
Remix the rules, remix the flavor. New Tropical Sprite Remix. Remix.
Every time nacho fries came back, that bold seasoning was drawing something closer. And once they taste that warm nacho cheese sauce, they won't stop till there's nothing left.
Taco Bell's Fry Force, now serving at a Taco Bell near you.
Behold, the Garlic and Bacon King. A sandwich with sizzly, crispy bacon that we wanted to make even crispier. So boom! Crispy garlic. Now that's a crispy burger. Try the Garlic and Bacon King only at Burger King.
Tu futuro suegro es muy tradicional. Te tomó meses agarrar valor para pedirle la mano de su hija. Pero si tu videochat no se conecta y dejas plantado a tu suegro porque tienes cable, solo recuerda, no eres mal novio, solo necesitas mejor internet. AT&T Fiber te da una experiencia de internet más rápida, con velocidades de carga 20 veces más rápidas que el cable.
Cámbiate a 1 giga de internet con AT&T Fiber por $39.99 al mes por un año. Disponibilidad limitada en ciertas áreas. Llama al 1-800, es fácil.
Experience the high life of 18th century Europe through the eyes of its greatest lover, Giacomo Casanova. Luxury, intrigue, and seduction. Casanova, The Seduction of Europe, through December 31st at the Kimball Art Museum. Plan your visit at kimballart.org.
In celebration of our 45th birthday, get 45% off Mako's most popular paint service and Meineke's oil change packages. A deal so good, you'll want to celebrate twice.
A sizzly double cheeseburger, tasty chicken McNuggets, with a side of tangy barbecue. Wait, what? Is this... You're making the crunchy double? Oh, yeah. This is a McDonald's menu hack, and those are the hands of a menu hacker. I can tell from the ring light. Order the crunchy double by name, build it by hand, and hack the McDonald's menu. Like I'm about to. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Afoot and lighthearted, I take to the open road. Healthy, free, the world before me, the long brown path before me leading wherever I choose. The east and the west are mine. The north and the south are mine. All seems beautiful to me.
Now available on DVD.
Jotenkin voi nukkunut.
I may not always love you, but long as there are stars above you, you never need to doubt it. I'll make you so sure about it. Farther! God only knows what I'd be without you.
Dare keep up. Detective.
My grandmother was right. The boogeyman was real.
It's over. We can't hurt anyone ever again.
No one told you.
Told me what?
Somebody in there?
Michael Myers is alive.
Stop! You had a knife in your stomach.
You and Allison should not have to keep running. Evil dies tonight.
I'm not just gonna sit and watch another innocent person die.
If you track Michael's victims, that's a straight line to Michael's childhood home.
What do? We fight.
Let's hunt him down.
Michael Myers is flesh and blood. But a man couldn't have survived that fire. The more he kills, the more he transcends.
Run! Go now!
He's the essence of evil.
Do it! Do it! You want your mask? Come and get it!
I'm coming for you, Michael.
Peter.
I was wondering maybe you could make it so Mysterio never revealed my identity.
Strange.
Don't cast that spell. Fine. I won't.
You ready?
What just happened?
Doors unlocked.
3 attacks so far. Something about this one just feels different. Do you have a gun?
I'm Sydney Prescott. Of course I have a gun. I've been through this a lot. And I won't sleep until he's in the ground.
Still fresh.
Unstoppable in-wash scent booster. down, you unstoppables.
The day the world stopped was the day we found where to go. Lost together, we discovered ourselves again. And we realized that the things that matter deserve time.
That looks good. A comer.
For two.
From now on, we're not gonna leave anything on our plates. Because we've learned to savor the moments that were always there. And they never tasted this good.
Your soap is ugh. And your body wash is a synthetic detergent. But you're not a dish. You're a man. Switch to Dr. Squatch Natural Soap for Men. For men who build things. Open pickle jars on the first try. Slay dragons. And let their daughters braid their hair. Men who like to feel good and smell. Titillating. Dr. Squatch takes you places you never thought you'd go. Naked.
Sprint asks you to please be quiet and courteous to others and silence your cell phones now.
Police! Hands up! Stay still! Get out of here!
Fear is a tool. But when that light hits the sky, it's not just a call. It's a warning. I've been trying to reach you. Find the God! This is a powder keg, and Rither's the match.
I can take care of myself.
If this continues, it won't be long before you've nothing left. I don't care what happens to me.
It's only gonna get worse for you.
Whoa! Take it easy, sweetheart. Hear everything they say, ain't you?
Maybe we're not so different. Who are you under there?
I'm vengeance. What's black and blue and dead all over? You. Take
I got you!
Did you know that the very first assembly of photographs to create a motion picture was a 2-second clip of a black man on a horse? And that man is my great-great-grandfather.
Great.
There's another great-grandfather. But that's why back at the Haywood Ranch, as the only black-owned horse trainers in Hollywood, we like to say, since the moment pictures could move, we had skin in the game.
What's a bad miracle? They got a word for that.
Yeah, nah. Run!
Farmer's daughter, take one. I need to be famous, Wayne. All the best people are.
There ain't nobody else out there like you. You know why?
Why?
'Cause you got that X Factor. Our days of struggling may soon be over.
Hollywood, here we go.
So this is it. Our own studio backlot.
You looking for a place to stay?
Oh, yes, sir.
That's one ugly son of a bitch. And my wife, Pearl, is next door, so I would appreciate a little discretion.
He don't know what we're doing, does he?
Well, it's better to beg for forgiveness and ask for permission.
Would you like to come inside?
Much obliged.
I want to be in the movie.
Well, you can't. The story can't just change midway through.
If Daddy catches us, there's no telling what he might do.
My wife is not well. It happens after dark.
You don't want to leave, do you?
People's eyes are gonna pop out of their damn skulls when they see this. What?
Are you all right?
No.
One of the boys found this inside.
What do you think is on it?
I see one goddamn fucked up horror picture.
Mrs. Wang. Mrs. Wang.
Mrs. Wang, are you with us?
I am paying attention.
Now, you may only see a pile of receipts, but I see a story. I can see where this story is going.
It does not look good.
What's happening?
Evelyn, I'm not your husband. I'm another version of him from another universe. I'm here because we need your help.
Very busy today. No time to help you.
Across the multiverse, I've seen thousands of Evelyns. You can access all of their memories, their emotions, even their skills. There's a great evil spreading throughout the many verses. And you may be your only chance of stopping it.
Don't make me fight you. I am really good.
I don't believe you.
Wow, that was really good.
He's waiting in the wings.
The universe
He speaks of senseless things.
is so much bigger
Script is you and me.
than you realize.
Of all the places I could be, I just want to be here with you.
Remember our mission concerning the fate of every single world of our infinite multiverse.
There is no way I am the Evelyn you are looking for.
Every rejection, every disappointment has led you here. To this moment. Don't let anything distract you from it.
Hello.
Hi.
Mrs. Marlowe, yes?
Harper, yes.
Do, come in.
The words I have to say.
It's a beautiful house.
But they're
Would it just be you staying, or
Excuse me?
Mrs. Marlowe?
No.
until you give your love. There's nothing more that we can do.
Apple from the garden?
Yeah, it was delicious.
No. Mustn't do that. Forbidden fruit.
Oh, God, sorry,
I'm joking.
Oh.
You're tormented.
It feels more like...
Haunted.
Yeah. Something happened. My husband went upstairs to our balcony and let himself go.
You must wonder why you drove him to it.
I didn't drive him to it.
I thought it'd be true. But if you'd given him the chance to apologize, he'd still be alive.
What? A man followed me out of the woods. He was stalking me.
What makes you say that?
I saw him twice.
Twice. I don't know if he saw you once.
Well, play a game. You hide, I'll see.
You must feel an awful sense of guilt.
Stay away from me.
What are you doing now?
What are you?
So, you hear anything about this movie?
It's about a farmer who discovers he's sitting on the world's largest deposit of nacho cheese. Best condiment ever.
Jalapeno. Wow, that's a hot dog.
Make that 2 hot dogs. Anyway, sci-fi movies, they never win any awards.
This one will. I heard the aliens look exactly like...
Pepperoni pizza? Yeah, grab me one. I'm gonna grab seats. I heard there's super comfy ones. It's like sitting on...
Popcorn?
Would you like butter? You read my mind. I'll take that with a Coke.
Coke, 0 sugar.
A Coke. Coke, please.
aired the special Who Wants to Marry a Multi-Millionaire, but during the filming, one of the contestants died suddenly backstage. What caused her sudden demise? Why is Fox so tight-lipped about the tragedy? Our story begins in December of 1999 at Berkeley Funeral Home. A gown used to dress a corpse for a funeral is removed from the body and returned to the store where it was purchased. A month later, Fox's planning team was in search of cheap wedding dresses for its contestants. They settle on a bridal shop in Middle America. Later, Fox will deny that embalming fluid from the dress seeped into the contestant's pores and killed her. James Dean was killed in a car crash in 1955 when his Porsche Spider crashed head-on into another car. Parts from the Spider were later reused in other automobiles. But were the parts haunted?
Accidents.
A car designer plans to sell the car for parts. While in his possession, the car rolls off the back of a truck and breaks a mechanic's legs. Next, a Beverly Hills doctor buys the Dean engine and uses it to replace the engine in his Porsche. The doctor is killed in a crash the first time he takes the car out. Another doctor buys the Dean transmission. He is later seriously injured in a car crash. A person buys 2 of the Dean tires. His car crashes when both tires mysteriously blow out at the same time.
Poltergeist deaths.
You close that door for us? It's me.
Roger.
Yeah.
Watch.
If you have evidence of UFOs, the paranormal, or the unexplained, share them with us by sending them into justin@jkcinema.com.
In this episode of Urban Legends, we delve into the sometimes twisted and disturbing origins of a few products, logos, and household items. We hope you enjoy it, but beware, it might change your perception of the little things in your world. Ladies and gentlemen, JK Cinema presents Urban Legends Series Origins.
Gilliam Sykes Odell had a terrible time with his house, which was at one time reported to be the most haunted house in American history. His parents died a horrible death in their home when a local teenage boy murdered them. It turned out he'd once had a crush on Odell's mother, a former high school teacher. After killing Gilliam's parents, the teenager killed himself. This happened just after Gilliam graduated from Purdue University in northern Indiana. Shocked and distressed, the young man became a shut-in at his home.
It was like everything changed. The air in the house was different. Then I started to hear the voices.
A frightened Gilliam told a local newspaper reporter years later. Gilliam tried to ignore the problem, and, as a chemistry student, set up a laboratory in his basement. His parents' death left him not only with pain, but a fortune as well. Gilliam never needed to work a day in his life. This left him lots of time to get acquainted with the ghosts who kept him company. Occasionally he heard his mother's gentle humming from her rocking chair. At other times, he felt the comforting hand of his father on his shoulder. Then there were times when Gilliam felt chilled to the bone. He feared for his life most of the time. Often he would wake up in the middle of the night and find a kitchen knife balancing above his head on the headboard. He also found himself unable to breathe, as though someone were choking him. Surely, this was the work of the teenager. Gilliam had had enough. He contacted a scientist back at his university, who he knew was interested in the paranormal. The man instructed him to study the ghosts, and suggested that he come up with a concoction to keep the ghosts at bay. Believing that there was an element that could push lost souls towards the other side, he insisted that Gilliam look towards chemistry to find the answer. After burning his eyelashes off and working for weeks in solitude, Gilliam came up from his basement with what we know today as paint thinner. However, he called it ghost tonic. He felt he'd found his miracle potion, because when he splashed it on the walls, the paint would fade and run, often in the shape of the phantoms he'd seen. Maybe just because of his delirium, or maybe from the fumes, it seemed to make sense to him. He insisted to those around him that the smell of the tonic, when it made contact with the surface, was the smell of dead ghost. Gilliam ended up selling his concoction to another wealthy classmate, who made his fortune selling paint, and giving away a bottle of the ghost tonic, or paint thinner, as it came to be called, with every purchase.
London, England, 1888. A young child went missing. Her name is Carol Bowles. Since her disappearance occurred a week before Christmas, many folks got involved with the search. Search parties walked door to door in search of Carol, but this incident occurred in the same year as the infamous slayings by Jack the Ripper. Since the incident occurred in the same year as the unsolved Jack the Ripper murders, people were reluctant to open their doors, even for a search party. To indicate their non-violent intentions, the search parties sang the songs of Christmas. The people in the neighborhood gladly opened their doors. It became a bittersweet tradition, as each year after that, people went door to door and sang songs of Christmas. The songs became known as carols. After the missing girl, the tradition has continued to this day. Little Carol was never found, but that year, the Christmas carol was born.
Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh.
the paranormal, and the unexplained. In this episode of Urban Legends, we present 5 cases of unusual phenomena. At the end of each segment, we'll ask you, the audience, to vote on whether you believe. Ladies and gentlemen, JK Cinema presents Urban Legends 6. Fact or Fiction?
A strange and well-documented apparition phenomenon began in a small Spanish village called Belmez on August 23, 1971. On that day, Maria Gomez Barrera noticed a strange formation on her kitchen floor. The formation evolved each day, until finally it became a face. Maria's husband Miguel took a pickaxe and destroyed the floor. It was then re-cemented, and everything returned to normal. Until a week later. On September 8, 1971, the face that had been destroyed spontaneously reappeared on the kitchen floor. The Belmez City Council decided that they should excavate the earth beneath the kitchen floor to see if they can find the source of the unusual phenomena. What they found was shocking. There, buried 9 feet beneath the Barrera's kitchen, were headless skeletons and piles of human bones. The remains were removed, and the floor was again relayered with cement. Soon later, the face returned. Then many different faces started to appear on the floor. The faces of Belmez were determined to stay. Experts were called in to examine the phenomena. They took a slab of the kitchen floor back to their lab, and found that the cement had no evidence of paint or dyes. Then they sealed off the kitchen and windows with wax, and covered the floor in a jacket, and sealed the edges. The kitchen remained untouched for 3 months, until it was reopened. They found the faces had evolved, and moved about the floor. They also recorded audio from the kitchen, and found ghostly chatter on the tape.
Yeah, man.
I continue very Professor Hans Bender called the Belmez faces the most important paranormal phenomenon of the century. The faces continue to elude scientific explanation to this day.
Are the faces of Belmez fact or fiction? Cast your vote now. Poll results will be displayed at the end of the program.
Book 'em down. Book 'em down. Book 'em down. One more here. Surfboards. An island. You know what? I don't know. Book 'em down. Book 'em down. Book 'em down.
Tell us what you think.
On November 16, 1996, professional cameraman Mark Lichtel shot video of a parachuter jumping into a cave. He didn't notice anything during filming, but upon playback, he noticed strange objects swim through the air. Two years earlier, Jose Escamilla captured the very first rod on video. Rods have since been captured on video all around the world, and even in space. What are rods? They range from 4 inches to 100 feet long. And they travel very fast. They travel at a speed that is impossible to see with the human eye. But modern equipment, like digital cameras, can detect them. Some speculate they are extraterrestrial beings. Some believe they are creatures from right here on Earth. Skeptics believe they are an effect of the camera lens, or defects in the videotape, or motion-blurred objects.
Tell us what you think. Rods? Are they fact or fiction? Cast your vote now.
A woman working at a car impound lot in Oklahoma saw a ghost on the surveillance monitor. The ghostly figure appeared to circle around the cars. It was all caught on tape. The woman told another worker to go and check it out.
Back said there wasn't nobody back there. The wind was still that night. Our alarm was on, so nobody jumped the fence back there.
3 vehicles on the lot that night were involved in fatal accidents. Could it be the mysterious figure was one of those spirits searching for its car?
This story has been covered by major news outlets. Do we finally have proof that ghosts exist? Or is it just wishful thinking? Cast your vote now.
It is hard to say when El Chupacabra, which means goat sucker in Spanish, was first spotted, but it is known that this unearthly creature was first seen in Puerto Rico. People in rural areas claim to be awoken out of deep sleep by the pained screeches of their pets and livestock. Residents would find the bodies of their animals lifeless and drained of all bodily fluids. Only those unlucky people who went out during the night to inspect the sound had any idea of what kind of beast was responsible for the horrific scene. El Chupacabra was first reported in Puerto Rico, but reports have recently spread as far north as Massachusetts. This modern monster has also been seen in the American Southwest and parts of Asia, Central America and New Zealand. It is suggested that the beast flies and swims his way to his next destination. There is no telling how many there are in the world, but reports have continued to grow in the past few years. All we can say is, keep your animals and small children indoors.
Tell us what you think. After the credits, we'll reveal the viewer poll results.
Submitted for your consideration. JK Cinema presents Urban Legend 7 Evidence. Orbs are globe-shaped lights of energy caught on film, usually during a haunting or other paranormal experience. Orbs are believed to represent the spirit of an individual that has died. They are made up of the life force that powered their body in life. I took these pictures in the catacombs in Paris. The catacombs are basically an extremely large underground grave for the bones of over 300,000 people. I took about 10 pictures there. In almost every picture I took, I found round spiral orbs. On the back cover of Red Hot Chili Peppers' Blood Sugar Sex Magic album, the band included a picture that contains an orb. The band claimed that the recording studio was very haunted and included the picture as evidence. Here is more evidence of orbs. What do you think? In Urban Legends series Ghosts, we presented ghostly evidence including ghostly video from all over the world, the theory that ghosts interact with televisions and computer monitors, and EVP, or electronic voice phenomena. Here is more evidence. This television is in the off position, yet an apparition appears inside the television. This photograph shows a ghostly mist in front of a house. The mist was not present at the time the picture was taken, and upon closer inspection of the window, we see a ghostly apparition. A woman takes a picture of her sons on the 4th of July. There appears to be an unexpected visitor in the photograph. Members of the Air Force took a group photograph during World War I. When the photo was closely examined, an apparition was discovered peeking over the shoulder of one of the men in the top row. Everyone who knew the man recognized him from this photo immediately. He was killed 2 days earlier. EVP, or electronic voice phenomena, is ghostly audio which is impossible to the human ear to detect. But through technology, we can communicate with ghosts.
Are you joined up by anyone, Nancy, on the other side? Are you with your parents or anything?
Can you see us in this house? Or are you trapped in your own existence?
In Urban Legends series, UFO'S, we presented photographs and video of aliens and alien spacecraft. Here is more evidence that we are not alone. The attached file has what appears to be large, sphere-shaped ships. In Urban Legends 6, Fact or Fiction, we featured a segment on the modern-day monster, Chupacabra. Most people who voted do not believe in its existence. Maybe the following photograph of a Chupacabra capture will change your mind.
Death is the greatest unknown. What happens to us after we die? Humans have always pondered the existence of an afterlife. Do we live on after we die? Will we reunite with our friends and family in the afterlife? Humans have also always tried to communicate with the dead. We grieve the deaths of loved ones. It is difficult for us to accept that we will never speak to them or see them again for the rest of time. Religion claims to have the answers. Psychics claim to have the ability to communicate with the dead on demand. Both will offer their services for a price.
Reach out, touch faith.
And both warn us that they are only effective if we believe wholeheartedly in them and never question their logic or methods.
You don't like it? Kiss my ass!
Sometimes their claims are downright ridiculous. Sometimes they're odd. Sometimes these claims yield no result at all. Harry Houdini and his wife Bess made a pact that they would try to make contact with each other once one of them died. They came up with a secret code that would act as proof of communication from the other side. Many psychics claim to be in contact with Harry Houdini, but unfortunately, no one was ever able to recite the secret code back to Mrs. Houdini. In the 1920s, Thomas Edison speculated that one day science could perhaps develop a machine that would effectively communicate with the dead. 50 years later, such a machine was created. A Catholic altar boy in Brazil often saw his priest, Roberto Landel do Mara, communicating with a small box. The priest would speak to the box, and it would speak back. Thomas Alva Edison, inventor of the electric light, the motion picture camera and phonograph, was busily at work in his laboratory building a machine to achieve spirit communication with the dead. Brazilian researcher Oscar D'Argano wrote the book Voices from Beyond by Telephone, which reported details of his long telephone dialogues with spirits. American photographer Attila Vonsalé began experimenting with the record cutter, and had moderate success capturing spirit voices on phonograph records and a wire recorder. Marcello Bacci of Italy began experimenting in the paranormal. Soon he began recording voices using an old vacuum tube radio. A spirit team developed around his work, and they spoke to him through the radio sounds. People would visit him in his lab at home, and very often their departed loved ones would talk to them through Mr. Bacci's radio. Today, Marcello Bacci still uses the vacuum tube radio, and his spirit friends not only talk to him, but sometimes they sing to him. The man who was to become a great pioneer in the recording of electronic voice phenomena, or EVP, Friedrich Jurgensen, captured voices on audio tape while taping bird songs. During the next 4 years, Jurgensen continued to tape hundreds of paranormal voices.
I noticed a very pleasant female voice in some of the taping sessions. It seems to have an accent, a French accent. Is it Anne de Guigné? Is she with us?
Dr. Konstantin Radiva decided to experiment with EVP. Soon he began developing his own experimental techniques. Like Jurgensen, Radiva too heard the voices of spirits. Eventually he cataloged tens of thousands of voices, under strict laboratory conditions. In 1975 there was a significant breakthrough. Spiritual researchers George and Jeanette Meek met a psychically gifted man, William O'Neill, who could see and hear spirits. The Meeks provided funding and direction for a groundbreaking project of advanced spirit communication, and O'Neill provided the necessary psychic skills and electronics know-how. O'Neill recruited several of his spirit friends into the project. One of his invisible colleagues was the spirit of Dr. George Jeffreys Mueller, a deceased university professor and NASA scientist. It became a rather astonishing collaboration between dimensions, Doc Mueller and Spirit helping Bill O'Neill on Earth design a new piece of electromagnetic equipment that would convert spirit voices into audible voices.
Oh boy, I'll have to get the schematic I have.
Oh, das ist sehr schön. George make? This is Constantine Raudiver. George, my friend, at last we succeeded in contacting you. Jeanette is beside me, and she wants to give you all her love. This is Constantine Raudiver. This is the first contact you get from us. I suppose that you can hear me. I can hear you very well, very plainly. Fine, so this is the beginning of a new story, a new chapter, George. Thank you, dear friend. Now, you may not be able to hear me, but I want to take this occasion to say...
And so, as we conclude this episode of Urban Legends, more questions are raised. None are answered. As we go about our busy lives, living, is there another dimension, where the dead is just as alive, a dimension from which spirits try to communicate with us through technology, as we try to communicate with them? Has Thomas Edison's dream of a machine that communicates with the dead become a reality? Maybe. Like any psychic, or any religion, Spiritcom is only real if you believe in it.
Ah!